everybody, this is Greg Thompson with Greg Thompson Fine Art. I'm here at the fabulous Dixon Museum and Gardens and celebrating the Wayne Thiebaud 100-year anniversary exhibition from the Crocker Museum in Sacramento, California. Strongly encourage you to come to the Dixon and see this amazing show of Thiebaud's cakes, pies, lipsticks, bow ties, and from his window views of the cityscapes of San Francisco. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience by one of the oldest and most renowned pop artists in the United States, Wayne Thiebaud. Wayne Thiebaud was born on November 15, 1920, and turned 100 last year, making him one of the oldest practicing artists in America today. This amazing retrospective of a master painter explores his life, legacy, and rich canvases, is retrospective in nature and a must-see for anyone who is interested in American modern art. Thiebaud was born in Arizona but spent most of his life in Northern California. His father held several jobs, notably a Ford mechanic, a foreman at the Gold and Metal Creamery, and a real estate agent. These all would have an influence on Thiebaud finding its way back into his art later on in life. Wayne was always interested in art and drew and painted as a child. He loved cartoons, and in the summer in high school he interned as a cartoonist at Walt Disney Studios, and later would become a cartoonist for the U.S. Army during World War II. After the war, Thiebaud went to California State University and earned a BA and MA.FA in art and began teaching as an art instructor at the University of California, Davis outside Sacramento. It was a love affair that would continue for most of his life. In 1956, Thiebaud took a sabbatical to New York City and became immersed in the burgeoning art world there. He became friends with Wilhelm de Kooning, Robert Rauschenberg, and Jasper Johns, among others. Abstract expressionism was in full swing and would later diverge into the world of pop art. Wayne began making small paintings and images of food displayed in windows like pies, cakes, and pastries, all in a rich, lush, creamy texture with animative colors and vibrancy. In 1961, he was picked up and became friends with legendary art dealer Alan Stone, whose gallery in New York and the rise of the pop movement would launch Wayne Thiebaud's career. Although Thiebaud is often thought of and synonymous with the pop art movement, he never really viewed himself through that confined lens and thought of himself merely as a painter. And it is true, unlike Warhol and other of his contemporaries, Thiebaud chose to explore the world around him in a rich, multicolored, technical, always with rich, creamy, voluptuous painterly styles and backgrounds, which gave a sensibility to his confectionaries, cakes, pies, that you could almost reach out into the canvas and eat them. Isolation is a common theme in Thiebaud's work, whether it be isolation of confectionaries and pies and bow ties in the store window, or the isolation of figures set against the same lush, white, creamy backdrops. Never one to be pigeonholed, Thiebaud took another sabbatical in the early 1960s and set out to render and paint the human figure. More unforgiving than still lifes, Thiebaud got family members, friends, and colleagues to pose for him so he could get it right before hiring models. One cannot help notice the similarities in Thiebaud's art to another great master in the American genre, Edward Hopper. In Thiebaud's portraiture, his subjects, even if shown together, appear to be distant from one another in a shared space of isolation. Here he renders his wife Betty and one of his best friends, C.K. McClarty. Although sitting side by side, they are distant from one another psychologically and may as well be on the other side of the globe. But what is intriguing about Thiebaud is how he skillfully introduces rich, vibrant colors, such as pinks, purples, and chartreuses, often as an accent or an outline, where one would least expect it. This gives his subjects a magical sense of vitality and visibility, even in their halo of loneliness. Like Hopper, Thiebaud also explores man's isolation from the world around him with his window series of his native California. In these rich interpretations of the sharp rising and falling streets and landscapes of San Francisco, we are reminded of Hopper's take on looking out of his studio window onto the often uninhabited world around him. In these paintings, we also find echoes of Richard Diebenkorn, one of Thiebaud's close friends and contemporaries in California. The two artists were close and inspired one another's works. In Thiebaud's street scenes, we find echoes of Diebenkorn's Ocean Park series. Thiebaud takes these otherwise abstracted shapes, which could be seen as fragmented, and unifies them against a purposefully set high horizon line. Wayne Thiebaud is one of America's most celebrated and innovative painters. This amazing collection of work brought together by the Crocker Museum in California celebrates Thiebaud's 100th birthday and tells the rich and vibrant story of one of America's great painters celebrating his life and legacy in modern art. Be sure and catch this amazing exhibition of paintings and drawings at the Dixon Gallery and Gardens, now till October the 3rd. You'll be glad you did.